Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and I just want to thank all of you out there for your continued support, whether you're just watching or sharing the links, or if you've gone the extra mile and subscribed over at Rockfin or redvoicemedia.com. Now remember, Red Voice has an amazing lineup, and that second hour becomes free every 2 weeks. And this is one of those portions of the broadcast that is in the second hour. So check it out, and if you want to support me, remember, $100 for the year or $10 a month gets you not just the Bermas Brigade, reality rants. No, you get a lot more, and we're going to start doing forums, of which we're actually starting today, where you can meet the rest of the crew. So thank you so much for your continued support. Remember, redvoicemedia.com/Jason or redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. Not everybody breaks out the needle and bop-a-da-boop-a-da-boo! A beep-bop-a-doo! No. Especially for a bioweapon that was seeded, okay, and then dissipated and brought in tyranny globally. And so they can inject you continually with more bioweapons. Just no big deal. Okay? No biggie. All right. Without further ado, let's take you through the blueprint of the enslavement of humanity via NASA. And it's not just NASA, but we'll get to that because it's literally in the document where this information is coming from. And I know I harp on it, and I've talked about it before, but the document is so key that let's see if we can get down about at least halfway through it, 50 or 60 pages. And then maybe later this week, we'll be doing this on the premium side of the broadcast as well. Who knows? So the enemy after next is you, by the way. So in this ongoing worldwide technological revolution, you're the enemy. This is going to be telling you about economic trends and the potential nature of farther term warfare. All right, this is 5th generation warfare. The bots, Borgs, and humans welcome you to 2025 AD. We're now 700 days away from that, less than 700 days, okay? So this presentation is based on the quote-unquote futures work with DARPA, the CIA, the FBI, the Office of Naval Intelligence, Australian Defense Department, okay, the National Research Council, the Army after next, the one that's going to be automated and human and cybernetic, that one, and so many more, the DIA. Take a look. Breathe it in, all right? For all you military folks out there, the SEALs are in there too. So this presentation is based from the entirety of the military-industrial complex for where they want to bring the future of the planet. It is meant to incite thought and discussion, and it is based in all cases, not some cases. Everything you read here is based on existing. In other words, already here. Data, trends, analysis, and tech. The tech is there, and they're going to tell you that. Not pixie dust. In other words, not the imagination land they present to the public. It provides, in some cases, a somewhat broader view of prospective developments and issues. Utilization and the application of the 2025 and beyond projections. Inputs to future warfighting concepts and development, enemy after next and blue. Inputs to new procurement decisions. So in other words, procurement decisions means the tech that they're going to use and how they're going to do things. And it says about 15 years to produce this tech, but then they inventory it for 40 plus years. That's the procurement decisions they're discussing. Heads up for the intel community, watchings and warnings. I mean, this thing gets into CNN syndrome later. And then inputs for the Defense Department and R&D planning, which, again, is the ever more present automation and getting humans out of the system. And NASA, big on the climate change and sustainability agenda as well. Politics can and does change overnight, e.g. Russia. Remember, Russia, our enemy. Russia, our buddy. Russia, our enemy. Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, etc. Potential capabilities is the future warfare issue, but not who, but what. What? The human species is what? So they need to plan differently. In a world in the throes of the triple exponential IT bio nanotechnological revolutions, changes are occurring at the scale of months instead of decades, and now weeks instead of months, or days instead of weeks, by the way. To the zeroth order potential effects on defense, offense equipment, CON ops, and threats. So that's continental operations, by the way, CON ops. Spaceship Earth. So here it is. This is where we're bad as people. The crew the humans are plundering the ship's supplies, tinkering with the temperature and life support controls, still looking for the instruction manual, engaging in bloody skirmishes in every corner of the vessel, increasing the size of the crew by 2 million per week. And it's bigger than that. So in other words, humans bad. And there's, I'm not, you know what? Who's P. Crayola? Let's do it live. Let's do it live. That's what we do here. We do it live, folks. P. Crayola. Who is that? Because obviously we're quoting that person. Let's see. ESA, European Space Agency. Switzerland. In Space, A Brief History. That's who this is, huh? Died in 2019. Still around in 2001 when that document was there. Dr. Peter Crayola. There he is. Vice Chairman of the ESA Council and head of the Swiss delegation. That's who we're talking about. So again, another eugenicist. Humans bad. They're bad. They're so bad. Okay. And see, humans have taken over and vastly shortened evolution. And we've got Dennis Bushnell, the same guy who authored this, talking about how the evolution of everything is over and human beings are now driving all of evolution. It's 10 million times faster than regular evolution. And when we talk about of the planet, global warming, pollution, deforestation, okay, I mean, when you look at this, the public work, they're telling you they're going to what? Underneath. Of the human species, they're going to genomically design and repair it. And they talk about mind children, Moravik. Transhumanism 101. We're on page 9 of the document. Talks about products and life forms, cross-species, molecular breeding, and yes, directed evolution. I don't know what MaxiGen is, but we'll do it live. It's part of the love of the broadcast, everybody. MaxiGen. Let's see. Biotech. MaxiGen is a biotechnology company. Interesting. They're out of Newark, New Jersey. What do? It offers libraries of genetic diversity with high functional content. Cost-effective approach for directed evolution screening and campaigns. MaxiGen assists with library design and overall project development. No retained ownership. Partners own their libraries and outcomes. MaxiGen can perform screening of libraries in certain areas of biotech. It says right here. Let's learn more. They've got molecular biology services, great, but what about directed evolution? Oh, there's molecular breeding. These are the tools. Nice. So still in business after all these years. Weird. The military-industrial complex picked a winner. All right, let's keep going down the line. Currently, this is 2001, an order of 70% of the world's research conducted outside of the U.S. to first order produces an order of 18% of the world's GDP. And 70% of U.S. research now commercial as opposed to government-sponsored. That's the techno-fascist takeover right there. Techno-fascism. Shows the percentages of nanotech research. And this is important. The technological ages of humankind. Talk about the hunter-gatherer groups. Then the agricultural groups. Industrial age. Then the IT from 1950 to 2020. Now, what's interesting about that is it's a 2001 document. And somehow the bio-nano era is definitely coming in 2020 when a biologically nano-created virus, something through gain of function, aka creating a bioweapon, is released on the planet maybe in 2019, right? It looks like 2019. And then in 2020, they lock down the country and then most parts of the world and start injecting people with more bio-nanotechnology. Just called it right there. Now, they don't know how long this whole bio-nano era of them transmutating you will be, but they know they want to get you into the virtual age. And what are we learning about now? The World Economic Forum wants that metaverse bad. They want you to upload that consciousness bad. They want that mind file. They want that internet of bodies. They want that fourth industrial sweet old revolution. The blueprint right here lays it out. And this is the thing. This is where a lot of my cynicism comes from. You know, we're winning. Are we? Who's winning? Take a look around. They war gamed this how long ago? I mean, take a look. They war gamed this well over, 20 plus years ago. They put a blueprint for where they want to take it out. It's right here. I mean, wow. So they talk about how in the hunter-gatherer ages, it was nature provided, okay? Agricultural was controlled nature, plants and animals, kumbaya. The Gaia revolution, now we're in the industrial age of mechanized agriculture. And now IT, bio-nano, you begin automating industry and agriculture. And then by the time we hit the virtual age, it's the robotization of everything, okay? And IT, bio-nano, industry, agriculture. Humans no longer relevant in that. Key future technologies, all highly synergistic at the frontiers of the small in a feeding frenzy of each other. Lovely. So this is the IT, bio-nano revolution. In IT, you're talking about silicon, bio-optical, quantum, nano computing, no end in sight. Another 10 to the 6th power exponentially. And then now we're talking about virtual reality, holographic, immersive, ubiquitous communications, hyperspectral sensors, and a virtual presence. So beyond the headset, folks, beyond what they're preparing for now, way beyond it. Automatic, robotic, everything, getting rid of you, automating everything wirelessly, through 5G and other sensor control systems we can only dream of. And that's a huge cost reduction for them because they don't have to employ people. And you can think you're going to get your little universal basic slave income. Yeah, that'll be there for a while, but it's going to come with tokenized restrictions. Things beyond the track trace database society and your compliance. Bio, lifespan doubling. Not for you. We've been promised this again and again and again. And people are like, look how much longer we live. Please, give me a break. Again, the Johnny nonsense is real, if you believe that. Our lifespan is doubling. No, these people at the top of the transhumanist movement want you to merge with machines, to give up your humanity, and in essence, what makes you special, your consciousness, your soul, enslave yourself. A lot of people have enslaved themselves through big pharmaceuticals. Soon that's going to be biomedical pharmaceuticals, sensors. Again, yesterday, I showed you the DARPA sensors under the skin. I believe it's called Lumee, Lumee. Okay? So these people believe that they can biologically live forever. That's their belief system. And the rest of us will merge with the machines and eventually be tricked into uploading our consciousness as we build human-like robots. And then we're talking about genetic engineering before birth. I talk about Martine Rothblatt, and I still don't do it enough. I should be doing it more and more and more. Okay? Because not only is it from transgender to transhuman, where it's all billions of sexes and a continuum of sex types, billions of sexes. They don't even want billions of people on the planet, right? No. This is the author of Unzipped Genes in 1997, advocating for the same thing that Bushnell is advocating for in 2001. Okay? It's a big deal. Genetic engineering before birth. Plants irrigated by seawater, food, petrochemical stock minerals, and terraforming. Now, that's a technology that can actually help empower humanity. It is not likely to be utilized for the masses because they want you to eat the bugs. Or if they do actually utilize it, it will be for the plant-based, soy-based diet they want you on so you can no longer eat meat. Carbon nanotubes, 600 times the strength to the weight of steel. Assemblers, living factories. So in other words, that's automation on automation and the huge cost reductions that will bring. Human beings are out. Machines making machines are in. Okay? That's what nanotech can do. The worldwide IT revolution. Communications, computing, sensors, and electronics. U.S. commercial IT R&D over $100 billion a year. Factor of 1 million. Further improvement. Silicon, molecular, quantum, bio-optical. Beyond human AI? ? Now, as I've told you, artificial intelligence, extremely dangerous. We played that clip. Garbage in, garbage out. But who controls the AI is really where the danger truly is. Because as far as what most people perceive AI to be, I don't perceive it to be that way. Automatics, robotics in the large, that's everything. Immersive, multisensory VR, holodecks. So welcome to Star Trek. You're that immersed. We're talking about touch, taste, smell, not just the headset. Ubiquitous, multi-physical, hyperspectral sensors, land, sea, air, space, everything. Multi-physics, guys. Hyperspectral. That means different spectrum of light. That means we don't need just the CCTV cameras. We have a sensor network everywhere. Micro, nano satellites, GNC sensors, etc. That's the artificial skin that NASA openly talks about, that SpaceX is putting up there. Worldwide impacts of ongoing IT revolution upon society. Telecommuting, teleshopping, teleentertainment, teletravel, teleeducation, telemedicine, telecommerce, telepolitics, telesocialization. Pandemic, anybody? Fast-tracked all of it. Now, you had parts of it, right? In other words, we've had Skype for a long time. Boy, they fast-tracked the Zoom meeting. We've had doctors for a long time and online consultations for a long time. They forced you into telemedicine. Kids couldn't go to school. Don't worry, we got a Zoom class, teleeducation. Teletravel, that's going to be that immersive VR experience and that Kurzweilian promise. Teleentertainment. Scrolling anybody? Instagramming anybody? Teleshopping. I mean, that's, again, Amazon is the great ruler. Same with the teleconference. When politics came around, all of a sudden, what? You didn't need a congressman or a senator at important hearings anymore. Now, in the small, some of that was going on. But boy, did it get fast-tracked during the COVID-1984 nightmare. Jason Bermas, how dare you point this out? We're on page 16. It's 113 pages of this bad boy. IT status. Okay? 10 to the 6th power improvements in computing since 59. 10 to the 8th power further possible in the next 30 years. 10 to the 3rd power provides better than human capabilities. 100 million telecommuters worldwide now, expected to at least double in 15 years. Way more. Way more. India graduates 3 times more software engineers in the U.S., more software written in Bangor and Southern CA. Yes. So basically, than Southern California, yes. And that's why we've seen so much outsourcing over the last decade and a half in that regards. I mean, you're talking, when I was working at my MSP company, the managed service provider, so much outsourcing. IW effectively constitutes a 4th WMD, weapon of mass destruction. I mean, it basically saying internet warfare is the ultimate weapon of mass destruction. They don't like the information warfare because they can lose that. Quantum computing initially available in 5 years, which it did. Okay. And remember, there are separate types of quantum computing. NASA, in partnership with Google, has achieved quote-unquote quantum supremacy when you talk about the D-Wave systems, which have now been just totally surpassed, right? The D-Wave systems alone, who's investing in them? Bezos is investing. Goldman Sachs is investing. The upper echelons of the predator class systems all investing in this. 15% of all power today is used by computers. Will reach 60% by 2010. I really don't know what the number is. Maybe we should do that. How much of all the power is used by computers? Okay. How much power globally is used by computers? Power globally used by computers. Let's see how on they are. Computers, data centers, and networks consume 10% of the world's electricity. 30% of this electricity goes to the power terminal equipment. Computers, mobiles, and other devices. 30% goes to data centers, and 40% goes to the network. So we're only at 10%. Wrong prediction. Wrong prediction there. All right, let's keep. Wait. I'm sorry about that. Wearable. This is important. Wearable and implantable on personal electronics, communications, computing, sensory augmentation, health monitoring, and brain stimulation. In other words, these biomimetics that we talk about, the brain chips that we talk about, they were talking about in 2001. When we're talking about under the skin, health monitors, etc., they're talking about it, what? In 2001. Old news. Old news. AI and beyond computing. Human brain characteristics, capabilities, 100 billion neurons, 100 trillion connections, 200 calculations per second, slow speed of neural circuitry, 20 million billion calculations a second. So in other words, they're telling you they're going to go from 200 to 20 million with this. Excellent at parallel computing, pattern recognition, poor at sequential thinking. Operates via random tries. Machine capabilities, currently 10,000 billion calculations a second, 100,000 billion by 2004. By 2010, 20 million billion is available. By 2025 on a PC. And I would say on a PC, probably on one of these bad boys. Probably on one of those bad boys, as much as I love the PC. By 2030, the PC has a collective computing power of a town full of human minds. So supposedly in 7 years, your PC has the computing power of a town full of, human minds. Take that as what you will. The Human Brain Project, begun in the early 90s. So again, brain chipping with this project, early 90s Defense Department, decades before. Go watch True Stream Media and The Minds of Men. Funded by 16 organizations across 5 agencies. The NIH, yes, the National Institute of Health, the NSF, the Department of Defense, NASA, and the Department of Energy. Oh, the Department of Energy. I keep telling people the Department of Energy has done some of the most insane human experimentation that we know about. They always have these innocuous terms. So yeah, the Department of Energy in on genetic human experimentation, and guess what? Brain chips. AKA informatics, intersection of neuroscience and information. And it's exploding. The field is exploding. 10,000 individual presentations at annual meeting of Society for Neuroscience, from molecular geneticists to cognitive psychologists, determining detailed neuroanatomy of human brain, digital brain atlas, and the use of IT to study the brain, use of brain info to aid IT and AI. So again, brain chips, brain projects, the 90s, Department of Energy, NASA, the DoD. The imagination engine, a.k.a. creative machine and creative agent. He often loves to talk about this. I think it's Steve Thaler. Current AI, best bet, not a rule-based expert system. Generates new ideas, concepts, via starving a trained neural net of meaningful inputs, forcing it to dream, cavitate, create new concepts, etc. An attendant neural net used to capture, record, elevate, and report on these writings. In the worldwide economy, our ability to create wealth is not bound by physical limits or resources, but by our ability to come up with new ideas. In other words, We don't need anything to actually back up our currencies. We don't need gold. We don't need anything but the psychological warfare power of the belief system that it's valuable. And that's why they're going to bring in a tokenized slave system of CBDCs. However, even universal wealth will not obviate the other causes of warfare, which include politics, face, religion, megalomania, and territorial disputes. I think that's supposed to be, face is supposed to be race. Okay, by the way, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look at the other abbreviated version and see if that is a typo. But take a look at this. They're basically telling you war's not going to end even with universal wealth, which will never exist, and that wealth is just based on ideas. Huh. Yeah. Stakeholder capitalism, anybody? Who will own everything and you will own nothing? Global problems and solutions. Serious problem. Energy, water, food, land, population growth, wealth generation, and pollution and warming. In other words, people. People are the problem. Killer app solutions. Motivational, inexpensive, web-based, asynchronous distance learning. In other words, you're going to be trained by AI, okay? And you're going to do so in the comfort of your own pod, aka home. All right, and that's the bottom line. And biomass food via CO water, irrigation in current wastelands. Yeah, you're going to eat the slop we give you. That's how we're going to solve it while we depopulate you. Inexpensive motivational asynchronous web-based distance education enables the demise of the U.S. underclasses. Wealth creation from enabled invention. Stabilization of the world population. There it is. That's the population control. That's the sustainability agenda. The demise of the underclasses. So it's going to be the have-everythings and the have-nothings, not just the haves and the have-nots, because there's the equalization of that. Rapid technology diffusion, okay? Rapid transhumanism is what that means. Altered political military outlooks worldwide, aka globalism, that changes everything. And when Bushnell brags on video about sustainability, and it's world population control, not stabilization, that changes everything. That changes everything. Motivational learner, web-based asynchronous distance learning, the only method of providing a requisite improved educational breadth, depth, quality, and responsiveness to shifting global economic warfare requirements, accelerated increase in knowledge at orders of magnitude, reduce societal individual cost, increase convenience and accessibility. And look, let's just talk about this. Technology can be used to empower or enslave. I am very empowered through technology and telelearning, free telelearning, through tutorials that are online, often on YouTube, often on a Trojan horse civilian system platform, right? You got to use what you can get. And this is a tool that is completely and totally beyond invaluable to somebody that wants to learn Photoshop or graphic design or the tricks of video editing or special effects or a number of other skills in trade, because there are experts on that giving away free knowledge. When I go and I get a piece of hardware, such as the webcam in front of me, that I am completely impressed with its quality, it's because I watched reviews and tutorials and comparison videos with others. And that's how I was able to come to an informed decision. So that empowers us. But when you take the human element out of education, I think it's so detrimental on many levels that you can't build that relationship, that you have narrative control that is now in a direction that is completely authoritarian in many regards, and I think dangerous, especially when it's these people. The ultimate education approach, plug and play. Direct silicon or other device connected to the brain. Very rapid uploads. Education in minutes instead of many years. In other words, we're going to take it from that, what I just discussed, to the brain chip in your head interface matrix style. On paper, 2001. Real deal. But I'm the kook for talking about this. Jason Bermas, you're kooky. By the way, I was scrolling through my Twitter feed yesterday, and it looks like Kim Iverson has put me on guest list. Kim, I'm ready to come mash it up. Love to talk about transhumanism with you, especially if we're going to talk about the true nature of the quote-unquote transgender agenda, because it is an anti-human agenda. The advantages of shallow sea desert production of biomass via seawater irrigation, a closed CO2 cycle, obviates global warming. Yes, they're always so worried about CO2 and global warming. So worried that they'll blow up a pipeline that emits more CO2 than ever. So worried that they'll run tests via war systems, okay, and death systems, aka weapon systems, that emit an untold amount of CO2 and never tell us about it. That's how concerned they are. Forget about just the private jet stuff. That's how concerned they are. Food, petrochemical feedstock, materials, clothing, etc., energy, and reliance on the Middle East. That, again, they could use this to empower us. Terraforming, alter desertification, preservation, production of fresh water, rich mineral source seawater, and the utilization of wastelands. This is the real deal. You can do this with solar power and so many other things. They're not interested in empowering you. They're not interested. It's about enslavement, setting up the boogeyman. Probable circa 2025 societal changes. Much increased lifespan. There's the fake hope. Okay? There's the Jared Kush sitting there. We're going to live forever. We're living forever. We're going to the moon. We're going to Mars. Solution to energy, water, warming, bio. Far more global distribution of technology, education, economics, wealth, etc. Via IT. Tremendous increase of the capability of automatic, robotic, everything's IT, bio, nano, resulting in reduced tensions across associated with haves and have-nots and historical religious issues. No, that's what they're pushing. That's what they're pushing. Also resulting in greatly increased individual destructive power, bio, IW, etc. That's going to be internet warfare later on, by the way. And general societal disaffection with machines. They're getting you ready for the automation. Major emerging law enforcement issues, privacy, ubiquitous micro nano sensors everywhere. There is no privacy. And they want to go surveillance under the skin. IT or internet crime, wide spectrum. Biocrime, binary pathogens, genetics, bioweapons. Protection of human electronic implants. Okay, not just the brain chips. Protection of the continental United States beyond terrorism. Internal terrorism. Okay? Now, like minority-style systems of pre-crime. Societal disaffection, upheaval caused by rapid technological changes. In other words, when we try to do this to people, bring in the fourth industrial revolution, people are going to be pissed. Road, air, rage, psychosomatic illness, and withdrawal. Psychosomatic illness, yeah, because you've psychologically manipulated the population, and then you've biomedically attacked them with weapons, including pharmacological drugs, massive information warfare, and a spectrum of other types of warfare. Of particular concern, uncontrolled and uncontrollable self-replication of brilliant robots, nano-replicators, and rampant recombinant bio. In other words, I don't know, things like spike proteins. Oh, did he say it? Did he say it? And I think we're going to go for about 5 more minutes on this. We're on page 31 of 113, and we're going to wrap it up a little bit early. Again, I have been on the road. I have been putting stuff together. I did that broadcast yesterday. I pre-recorded that on New Year's Day just to make sure it came out on Monday, because I'm a slave to the trade. I'm thinking about this stuff all the time. I'm just lucky to have the opportunity on top of it. And I want to thank everybody who has come over to the premium side of the broadcast and is supporting us over at redvoicemedia.com. And again, we're going to cover issues that are outside of what other people, not only in the mainstream, but the alternative cover, especially this. And we're going to challenge those popular narratives of hopium sometimes, like the Brunson case, because I think we have to. Current competitive landscape, U.S. produces only 18% of the world's GDP, much less than that at this point. 70% of research conducted offshore. Gain of function. $400 billion a year trade deficit. 32 other nations devote a larger percentage of their GDP to research. Fifth in number of R&D personnel labor units, 3% savings rate versus 30% in Asia. Again, they want Asia to come up. 13th out of 30 with student math score and science scores. It's probably much less than that. Okay, so there's the emerging economic multipolar world. All right, and when you look at China, just came right up, didn't it? Came right up. So did India, didn't it? India came right up. Boom. What came right down? The United States. You see that? They were telling you. They were telling you that this was happening. Biorevolution applications. Farm animals. Drugs and spare parts. Biomimetics, folks. Fast-growing plants on or near the surface and seawater irrigated plants for biomass energy. A closed CO2 cycle. Again, if it really empowered them, they're not doing it. Polymer growing plants. Spider genes in goats allows spider silk spinning from goat milk for biosteel. The spider goats that Alex Jones used to talk about. 3.5 times the strength of aramid fibers for armor. Binary bioweaponry. And by the way, they utilized the spider goats in the War on Terror. Or War of Terror, in my opinion. And again, when we talk about binary biologics, that's a real thing. It's not science fiction. It is fact. Examples: confluence of IT bio-nano, brain of a sea lamprey inserted and connected into the body of a robotic fish. An initial cyborg. Yes, doing this back in the early 2000s. Choo-choo, a flesh or plant-eating robot that hunts, biodigests natural foods to live off the land. In other words, death bots. And I remember there was a mainstream story back when I was at InfoWars, probably 2008, 2009, maybe 2010. And they were talking about the biomass war robots. Basically, they'd eat you on the battlefield and then continue to kill you. Okay? And they changed the whole narrative of that. Oh, they're not human eating. Really? Choo-choo. I mean, that's the joke. Choo-choo. If anybody can ever find Dennis Bushnell doing this presentation, hopefully the long form one that's probably like 4 hours, I would love that. I would love that. Because can you imagine the cackle on this guy while he tells you about choo-choo? All right. I think that's going to be the wrap for today, everybody. Please consider supporting me if you aren't already, if you're watching this on the replay, and sharing the links to the free stuff at redvoicemedia.com/Jason. It is not about left or right. It is about right and wrong. I absolutely love you guys. Couldn't do it without you. I hope that you're kicking off 2023 despite all of this grim information with a bang, and that this is a huge year for you individually. Maybe a year where you thrive in this situation, where you take control of aspects of your life you had in disarray before or didn't feel were important. Use this as a chance to what? Be your own hero, because we're all going to have to navigate not only a great reset agenda, but the great narrative that will continually be pushed upon us while it occurs. I love you guys, and I will see you all on the flip side.